You are kneeling in the ashes of what used to be your home. The night smells of burned wood, wet earth, and blood. It is silent now, too silent, the kind of silence that follows slaughter. Behind you, the gates of your lord's castle lie shattered in the mud. Ahead of you, torchlight flickers as armored men approach. Their helmets are shaped like demons, their faces hidden behind steel masks carved with eternal snarls. Samurai, the warriors of the rising clans. One of them steps forward, his armor lacquered black, his sword dripping with the blood of your people. He looks at you without expression, as if deciding whether you are a person or a piece of property. A second samurai unfurls a scroll. Your name is called. You are pulled to your feet, bound, and marched toward a courtyard where dozens of other women wait. Wives of fallen warriors, daughters of lords, servants, attendants. The battle is over. Now comes the part no one ever wrote about in the heroic tales of Japan. What happened to the wives of defeated enemies after the samurai claimed victory was something so shocking that even the chroniclers of the time wrote about it in whispers. If you stay until the end, you'll never see samurai culture the same way again. Hollywood lied about the samurai. They showed you honor, discipline, loyalty, elegance, Zen philosophy. But they didn't show the other side, the brutal machinery of war, the laws that governed captives, and the rituals that defined the fate of defeated women. Samurai were bound by the Bushido Code, but Bushido did not protect their enemies' families. It protected their own clan, their own honor, their own lord. Everyone else, they were spoils of war. The moment a castle fell, Japanese chronicles describe this with chilling clarity. When a castle fell, whether during the Heian Wars, the Kamakura Uprising, the Sengoku era, or the Genpei conflict, the victors performed a ritual called Koguchi no Seiri, the sorting of the mouth of the castle. It meant organizing the survivors. Women were divided into categories: noble wives, high-born daughters, attendants, servants, entertainers, common villagers. Each category determined their fate. The samurai commanders stood in a row, calling out names, pointing at women, assigning them like loot. One war chronicle, the Heike Monogatari, states, the women of the defeated clan were taken to the victor's camp and placed under guard as offerings to the triumphant. Offerings, not people. The ritual of claiming. Before we continue, look at the like button. If you believe history shouldn't be sanitized, if you want the truth even when it's uncomfortable, hit that button and tell me where you're watching from. Because what follows is not legend, it is documented practice. After sorting, samurai performed a ritual known as torikami to take inside. Ruedim, women selected by higher-ranking samurai, were led into a designated section of the camp, a fenced-off area guarded day and night. Inside, women waited, trembling, in small huts or makeshift tents. Here's what historians rarely mention. Samurai considered the wives of defeated enemies to be symbols of victory. Taking them was not a crime, it was a declaration. Your clan is dead. Your bloodline belongs to us now. The fate of noblewomen. Aristocratic women suffered a special kind of humiliation. They were not immediately claimed. They were first interrogated. Commanders asked, where are the clan treasures? Which samurai remain loyal? Where are the secret tunnels? Who fled the battle? If a woman refused to answer, her fate darkened instantly. The Taiheki Chronicle mentions many noble wives chose death over the shame that awaited them. Some committed suicide before the samurai even reached them. Some were killed by their own families to avoid capture. Samurai chroniclers wrote about this with cold admiration. Better a clean death than a defiled house. but what they called defilement was simply captivity. A captivity the chronicles barely describe, but archaeology reveals. The samurai camp, excavations of Sengoku period camps reveal, fenced compounds for female captives, wooden stakes for restraints, pits used for temporary confinement, lacquered registers listing the names of captured women, separate huts for high-born women guarded by a shigeru. This wasn't chaos. This was administration. Women were property to be managed, transported, redistributed, or traded. A chronicle of the Hojo clan chillingly notes, "We took the daughters of our enemies to strengthen our house and weaken theirs." This was political strategy, not passion. The procession of shame. Captured women were often forced to appear before the victorious lord. This was called Guzenmei, before the honorable presence. The defeated wives, stripped of their silk and jewels, kneeling before the warlord who killed their families, symbolized the complete destruction of the enemy clan. Witnesses describe women trembling as samurai commanders walked down the line, choosing those they wanted like merchants selecting goods. The chronicles never use the word slave. Instead, they say, taken into service, placed under protection, given to retainers, euphemisms, thin veils hiding a harsh truth. The worst fate of all. Sometimes a samurai lord gave the women to his soldiers as reward for loyalty, but sometimes he gave a different order, a chilling one. The order was called Metsubo Erasure. If the defeated clan was too powerful, if their bloodline posed a threat, if their daughters could be used to rally loyalists, they were eliminated, quietly, efficiently, without record. Archaeologists have found mass graves of women near Sengoku battlefields, with no armor, no weapons, just broken ornaments and hairpins. Their throats were cut, their hands bound. History erased them, but the soil did not. The tragic exception. In rare cases, samurai took defeated noblewomen as political wives, but these weren't marriages. They were hostage arrangements. A woman from the defeated clan was placed inside the victor's house to guarantee the obedience of surviving relatives. Her life was a leash. If the defeated clan rebelled, she paid the price. One lord wrote, "She sits in my home like a caged bird, and her father will not dare rise against me." This was not romance. It was warfare carried out through human lives. The Long Shadow Japan remembers samurai as honorable warriors. But beneath the armor, beneath the poetry and tea ceremonies, beneath the swordsmanship and Zen philosophy, is another story. A story told in whispers by the chronicles, in scratches on wooden camp remains, in shallow graves behind ruined castles. The story of the women whose lives ended the moment their husbands lost. They were not warriors. They were not recorded. They were not remembered. But they were the true casualties of samurai conquest. If this revealed a side of samurai history you've never heard before, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're going to keep exposing the past they tried to hide. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next journey into the darkest corners of history.